Welcome everyone to Charla Neshama School, Gateway to the Soul, Workshop 1, a 3-part Torah HaTzeva spring painting series. Doesn't really feel like spring yet, but it's a spring painting series called Adar-Nisaan, Awakening the Hidden Intelligence of Color. This class is sponsored by our dear friend Hiddenness. Tonight we gather on the 21st of Adar. It happens to be the Hilula of Rabbi Elimelech of Lizhensk. A special evening, a special day for everybody. A time that many speak of as an Eit Ratzon. A time of the opening of the gates of the Sharei Shamayim. So we open the Charla Neshama, our school, as we open every session, opening our souls, connecting with our breath, with our presence. And we're going to start this class different than any other class. We usually start with a certain Kavanna, and we're going to start with a Kavanna from Rabbi Elimelech. So if you have a candle, take out your candle. I already lit mine last night. In the memory of Rabbi Elimelech of Lizhensk. And I also would like to remind you, if you didn't get the notification, to have ready for this class, Amrit Hashem, some herbs, kind of like if they can have leaves, you can pick them from your garden. And if not, it's okay. We'll find something else. And Besamim, to smell and to say a bracha on. So we have our candle. It is said that Rav Elimelech had ruchnius levels not seen in the world since the days of the Nevi'im. We're now going to bring the essence of his teaching into this class. Let's connect to him with this tefillah. It's a powerful section that we're going to say right now from this tefillah of Noam Elimelech. It has everything to do with Torah HaTzeva and everything we've been learning so far. Incredible. This tefillah asks not only for help and protection, but something deeply embodied, because we're all about embodying the Torah, right? We're going to connect to this and ask that our entire being, our entire personal individual being, and our entire collective being, meaning the klal neshama of everybody here, all of the special women here, all the special neshamot here gathered, And we're going to ask that our entire being become aligned to Hashem, Levavinu, with our hearts, Machshavotenu, our thoughts, Diburenu, our speech, Ma'asinu, our actions, Tenuotenu, our movements. We're going to be doing some dancing and moving today. V'hargushatenu, our feelings, the revealed and the hidden. Haniglot v'hinestarot. So they all become more dignified and aligned with Hashem. This is our avoda here. To let our heart, the breath, our brush, and our colors all come into alignment. So we're going to work gently with all of these movements now. Close your eyes for a moment and just connect. Connect with everybody here. And we're going to start with this Kavanna, Rav Noach Elimelech. Tizakenu Avinu Shebashamayim, El Malei Rachamim. Grant us, our Father. You could say it with me if you would like. Our Father in heaven, compassionate Hashem, that we may unify our hearts, Sheniyahed et Levavinu, our thoughts, our speech, and our actions, and all of our movements and all of our feelings, those known to us and not yet known to us, the revealed and the hidden, that everything be truly unified, Shetehei hakol miyuchad elecha, to you, be'emet u'betamim, in truth and with simplicity, without any unworthy thought, Chalila. Tizakenu Avinu Shebashamayim El Malei Rachamim, B'taher libenu b'kadshenu, purify our hearts and make us holy. V'zorek aleinu mayim tahorim b'taharenu, and sprinkle upon us mayim tahorim, pure waters, and cleanse us. Ba'ahavatecha u'bahemlatecha, with your love and your compassion. Plant your love and your yira, bilibenu, in our hearts, tamid b'li hafsek, without interruption, b'kol eit u'b'kol zman u'b'kol makom, at every time, in every season, and in every place. In our going, in our sitting, in our lying down, and in our rising. V'teve'er tamid ruach kadshecha b'kran b'karbenu. May your ruach hakadosh burn within us. And may we lean always upon you, upon your greatness, your love, and your awe. Ubetoratcha shebekatav ushebalpeh, and upon your Torah, the written Torah and the oral Torah, the revealed and the hidden, and upon your mitzvot, all for the sake of unifying your mighty and awesome name. Guard us from gaiva, from piniut, self-interest, and gaiva, pride, from anger, harshness, sadness, and rachilut, gossip, and from all other midot ra'ot, harmful midot, and from anything that damages your avodah, that holy and pure avodah so precious to us. Pour upon us your Ruach Kodshecha, so that we may cleave to you and that we may long for you more and more. Raise us from level to level, that we may merit to reach the level of our holy Avot, Abraham, Yitzhak, and Yaakov. And may their merit in their schut, may they stand for us, that you hear the voice of our tefillah, shetishma b'kol tefillatenu, shenihiyeh tamid da'anim, that we may always be answered. When we dive into you for ourselves and for anyone among our people, Israel, may Amcha Yisrael, for an individual and for the Rabbi, for the many. May you rejoice in us and may we be glorified and may you be glorified through us. V'na'aseh pri lamala v'shoresh lamata, and may we become fruit above and root below. Amen. What a beautiful tefillah. I want to just highlight that last line. What does it mean? And may we become fruit above and root below. Meaning, let my life become like a living tree, rooted in this world, but bearing fruit in the higher worlds. A dwelling below, a dira b'tachtonim. Our everyday lives becoming a place where divine life can be revealed. And this connects us very deeply with Pesach. Pesach, Nissan, when the hidden roots of our neshama begin to reveal, that's where we are now. It's a movement from contraction to breath, from kuf to hey. We're going to embody this movement today of kuf, the letter for Adar, into hey, the letter for Nissan. And this is the work that we are exploring in Torah HaTzeva, when we root ourselves in breath, awareness, and honest presence. Let's just feel that now. Breath, awareness, and honest presence. Alignment, insight, creativity, healing, connection. And in our paint, we're going to feel this. The brush is going to be our roots, our hand moving, the breath moving our strokes, and then something authentic begins to happen. The Bnei Yissaschar, in his teachings on the month of Adar, reveals something beautiful. He notes that the word barzel, bet, resh, zayin, lamed, 4 letters. I'm going to put it on the screen. Bet, resh, zayin, lamed. If anybody read my post, they know what these 4 letters stand for. Anybody know?
That's Bilhah, Rachel, Zilpah, Leah,
Yes, thank you, Rivka.
Barzel, so special.
Isn't that amazing? Barzel, like Rivka said, Bilhah, Rachel, Zilpah, Leah. Wow. Together they form a circle of feminine protection surrounding Am Yisrael. So let's slow down here, because this is quite awesome. And let's feel this. Imagine our imahot surrounding our circle now. Bilhah, invite her in. Rachel, invite her in. Zilpah, invite her in. Feel her inside you. Where is Zilpah? Did you ever try that? Leah, feel her inside you. The tziruf for Adar is Hey, Hey, Yud, Vav. We're going to focus on the first two letters, the two Heys, the two feminine letters. The upper Hey, Leah, Bina. Lowering down that Hey, and at the same time, Rachel, the lower Hey, is raising up from the ground where our feet hit the ground and coming up to meet the upper Hey, our higher self and our lower self come together to meet in our heart space, Tiferet. See that Hey in your heart and allow it to glow in the color, whatever color you see there. And feel the energy of all of our imaot protecting us, surrounding us in our Or Makif. Our Kippat Barzel. Our circle of presence, our circle of Kedusha, holding, protecting, witnessing. Take gentle breaths, inhaling and exhaling slowly. And feel there's chut surrounding us. Extending out to the walls of your room. On all four sides, on all four walls. One wall is Bet. One wall is Reish. One wall is Zayin. One wall is Lamed. And around that circle, there's another circle. A circle of clouds, the Ananea Kavod, surrounding us. And see the clouds in color. What color are they? A covering, a holding. Our iron dome, our Kippat Barzel. Let's breathe with these letters slowly. Inhaling a bet, exhaling the Resh, inhaling the Zayin, exhaling Lamed. Again, feel the rhythm, breathing, moving through the letters, allowing your diaphragm to fill up and release. Protected by our mothers. Here inside our circle. If you'd like to share what you're feeling in this moment, please share in the comment box. As well as what word would you place in the center of the circle with our mothers? What word? 1, 2, 3 words would you place in our circle? Sometimes I sit by my window here and I watch the sky. And sometimes I see lines and circles moving across my window. It reminds me how my father, Alav Shalom, used to sit every evening watching the news. But here in Eretz Yisrael, the news is not on the screen. It's happening in the sky. Miracles appearing before our eyes. Protection unfolding in real time. I'm going to play for you a video, a 30-second video of something somebody by the name of Rachel posted on our chat today. I'm going to find it. 1 second. It may be a little difficult to watch, but there's a reason I'm doing this. I'm going to put it on the screen. It's not that scary, it just may be loud. One more. I want to ask you to look carefully. What we're seeing in the sky. What do you see? points, light, curves, circles appearing. The person who wrote it on the chat said, Igulim Kav Hayashar, circles and Kav Hayashar, a straight line. Circles and a straight line. In the teachings of the Arizal, creation unfolds in two movements, Igulim, circles, and Kav, line. The Kav, the straight line of divine light entering creation from the Or Ein Sof, whoever was with us in Torah HaTzeva classes, we learn that the one light is a one white light of Or Ein Sof and coming down in the Kav and then refracted like a prism into infinite lights. We're going to embody those infinite lights today. So when we see this, can you see the protection? When we see and hear these moments, sometimes our body here in Israel can easily move to fear, even when you're not in Israel, when you see it. It can cause fear. But let us try something different right now together. Instead of moving into fear, let us become present with our breath as we're watching, as we're hearing the sirens. This is what I do every day, oftentimes, several times a day. I notice my breath. Inhaling slowly and exhaling gently. Do that together with me. Inhale and exhale. And as we sit here together, let's breathe with this image and whatever images you have of this war, either looking out your window, feeling the rumbling with the booms, or watching it on a screen from afar. Let's just sit together with it for a minute and breathe with it. Igulim, expanding. Kav, line, descending. Breathing, expanding. Exhaling, light descending. Protection, surrounding. Barzel. And perhaps a deeper sense, something even older, called Hashgacha, divine guidance unfolding before our eyes. Stay with the breath. Stay with the breath. Breathe. Breathe. Stay with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. And notice what is different now in your body. Notice what was the difference between the first time watching and hearing and the second time. Did something change when you brought your breath into the moment? Feel free to write anything that you felt in the comment box. Any difference from the beginning of this meditation to now. Leah says, outline of parrot, eagle, dove, protective in flight. Rachel, calmer. Leah, presence. Ahuva, felt like a contraction, moving through, breathing through contraction. Yes, thank you. Thank you. I'm a doula, by the way. I breathe through contractions, helping women breathe through contractions, through surges. Yehudet Yao, the breath stilled and calmed me and turned my intention to Hashem instead of fearfulness. Yes. Yes. We're here to remind each other to do this. Thank you. So in the month of Adar, we're reminded that Nisim often begin quietly, hidden. Sometimes the first place we feel is in that turning, lahefech, the turning, not outside, but the inside turning, as our breath softens and our diaphragm releases. And slowly what happens? Ha ha ha! Laughter returns to the body. Yes, laughter. We can laugh, we can dance, we can sing, we can clap. So tonight we're going to support each other turning through our breath, through our body, through our painting. So the question comes up. What's happening after Purim? We know during Purim it's the V'nahafachu. But what's happening now inside of us? So we have a little hint from the teachings. I was delving today into the teachings of Rabbi Tzvi Elimelech Shapira of Dinov, the Noam Elimelech. And he says, he explains that joy, Mishenichnas Adar, Marbim Besimcha, we're still in the Marbim Besimcha, right? He explains that joy comes from a hidden spiritual source. Oh, sorry, this is the wrong one. Mishenichnas Adar, Marbim Besimcha, joy comes from a hidden spiritual source. Ki yemei Adar misugalim l'simcha. The days of Adar are especially suited for joy. Simcha. Ki az nit orer or hayeshua. Because this time, the hidden light of the Yeshua, Shehaya nistar v'na'olam, begins to awaken. The hidden light, nistar v'na'olam, of the Yeshua begins to awaken. This means that the Simcha of Adar is not simply a celebration, the Seudah and Purim. It's an awakening of this hidden light, the Simcha, the hidden light of Simcha inside. I was always fascinated when I was younger, a teenager. What causes Simcha? Why am I not happy? I have everything. I was very spoiled as a young person. But for some reason, there was something missing. I wasn't happy. And this answers my question. The happiness is a hidden light that's ignited, the light of Yeshua that's present there even when we can't see it. And I think many of us are beginning to feel the true meaning of Simcha now, this witnessing, unfolding, even in moments of sirens that we don't fully understand. Ad lo yada, we don't know what's happening. And this is the kind of Simcha that Rav Elimelech is describing, the joy that appears when the hidden light begins to reveal. And in many ways, this third week of Adar, beginning now, is this time of integration when we move from the hiddenness of Purim towards the Geula, the Gilui of Nissan. But between these two moments, there's a transition. So how do we live in the transition, inside the turning? How do we allow the body to soften again and to listen deeply? How to let the nervous system settle after we've been holding so much our whole lives. And generationally, so much. We've been holding so much. Sometimes we begin to feel the turning in our body before we understand it in our mind. And we go to the Sefer Yetzirah to understand what's happening in our inner world and our outer world. Sefer Yetzirah writes, Hamlich ot kof b'schok. He caused the letter Kuf, the letter for the month of Adar, to reign in schok, in laughter. Ukasher lo keter, bound a crown to it. V'tsar bo dagim ba'olam, and formed it with the dagim, the mazal for the month. Adar b'shana v'tahul, and in the year, it's the spleen. We're going to go into the spleen. Benefesh zachar v'nakeva, in the soul of male and female. So here's the structure of Adar. The letter Kuf, the constellation Dagim, fish, the chush of laughter, and the organ, the aver, the spleen, Tachol. So whatever happens in Shamayim echoes in time, and what happens in time echoes here inside our body. The Bnei Yisachar teaches that this aver, the tachon, the spleen, and the chush of the month of Adar is connected, that the spleen is connected to laughter. Get this. The spleen is usually associated with heaviness and holding. So isn't it surprising that the tachol, the spleen, is associated with laughter? What feels heavy can turn. V'nahafachu. This is the turning. As it says in the Gemara, Tahol sochek, the spleen laughs. Did you ever feel your spleen laughing? Anybody? Ahuva, no?
Can you spell it in Hebrew? Is Techol Taf Ches Vav Lamed?
It's right there on the screen. You don't
Oh,
see the screen.
sorry. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Did you ever feel your spleen laugh? We're going to feel that.
Not yet.
Okay. So we're going to do a little bit of anatomy to help us understand. So the spleen right here, the tahol, sits right next to the sarefet, the diaphragm, right here. That's the main muscle for breathing. So when I said open your diaphragm when you inhale, that's kind of what it looks like. And the spleen is right behind it on your left side. The sarefet, the diaphragm is a dome-shaped muscle. It's under the lungs and above the stomach. You can try to feel that, your diaphragm. And it separates the chest from the abdomen. So when you inhale, take an inhale, the sarefet, the diaphragm contracts and moves downward. The lungs expand and allows the air to enter. And when you exhale, the diaphragm relaxes and rises back upward, and the air leaves the lungs. Isn't that miraculous? So laughter, schok, is actually a series of rhythmic movements of this muscle. So when we laugh, the sarefet pulses. The breath releases in bursts, the rib cage loosens, and tension begins to drop. So let's feel that together for a moment. Let the breath move under the ribs and let the ribs soften, and let's try this together with a ha, 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 ha. Allow your diaphragm to move and let the breath bounce. Again, ha, 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 ha. It's a little bit like birth. What do you feel? Do you feel something turning? A little bit of Adar? A shift? A softening? What's happening for you? The heaviness surrounding the tahol, the spleen, loosens. And the diaphragm begins to move, and suddenly there's space for laughter. Yes, there's space even in this intenseness of roaring lion. Wow. Let's roar. Maybe that's what it's about. Let's roar. Roaring lionesses. Maybe that's why this war is called Roaring Lions, to move our diaphragm and feel the laughter. Azimalis chok pinu. Again, let's roar. Inhale. Exhale. Roar. Roar. Feel your lion. Feel your lion. Feel it in your body. Inhale. Ah! Feel it. Feel the spleen. Feel it. Feel the v'nahafachu. No need to force anything. feel your inside soften from the roaring and the laughter. And somewhere in the body, you have space for schok. So here's the process right here. The spleen is the place where we feel the heaviness. The diaphragm begins to move with the breath. And schok, the laughter, is the release, the rhythmic release, the sympathetic release from all of the holding, from all of the breath work. Release, roar, dance, laugh. That's the sympathetic nervous system releasing. And that's why the Gemara teaches Tahon Sachok, the spleen laughs. It's the turning. When the breath reaches the diaphragm. And this is the movement from Adar to Nissan. Immediately after Adar, the Kuf, the month of hiddenness, changes to Hey, Nissan. These two letters sit next to each other in the flow of the year, the Kuf and the Hey. What is similar about these two letters that we don't find in any other letters of the alphabet? Anybody?
Is it the separation of the parts?
Yes.
But one extends, like the kuf extends downwards, and then the hay stops, like it's more abbreviated.
Correct, exactly. It's the only two letters of the alphabet that have a dissociated part. It's a very unusual feature. Both letters contain openings in their shape. Each letter contains a limb that maybe stepped away. And as Ahuva said, the kuf extends downward below the line. Here's the line. And the kuf descends below the line. Its long descending leg suggesting awareness that has dropped below its alignment. Maybe a fall in consciousness. Maybe a descent into concealment. This letter is connected to the word Amalek, who attacks our das, the place where we understand, the place of higher understanding. Amalek, safek, suffix, doubt, cooling of the heart, creating some confusion. Does anybody feel that now in these days? Confusion making us forget who we really are. The Alter Rebbe explains that this is the work of Berur HaNitzitzot, the lifting of the sparks hidden inside the Klipa Noga of the Kuf. What is it hiding? What is it covering? The hay. When the sparks rise, the concealment weakens and the light returns, the inner light. We begin to see it and we begin to laugh and feel the Simcha. Covering lose their strength. The Klipas, Amalek, Hamas, Iran, begin to lose their strength. The kuf is covering the hay. It says, Mipenei ma nivra ha'olam b'hei. In the Gemara, why was the world created with the letter hay? Rashi explains, anyone who wishes to leave can leave. He can get out and escape through the upper part of the hay. And why is its leg suspended? So that if somebody returns in Teshuva, they can re-enter. And there's an opening between the leg and the roof. The opening exists because tshuva is always possible. Teshuv hey, teshuv hey. So this letter holds a teaching about openness and the possibility of tshuva. The hey, ha, is breath. Hey, ha, always leaving room. So here we're going to embody and we're going to paint kuf to hey, kuf to hey. The long descending leg slowly rising and becoming a vav. Doubt returning to awareness. And this transformation is happening right now in our lives and in our body, in our thoughts, our speech, and our action, just like in our original tefillah of the Noam Elimelech. Bnei Yisachar points out something very fascinating about the kuf. It resembles a kof, a monkey. What does the monkey do? The monkey imitates. It copies whatever it sees. A malik copies, imitates kedusha. It's not real kedusha. It's an imitation of kedusha. It looks similar to kedusha, but the inner intention is disconnected, like this line, disconnected line. So here's our avoda right now, us. Notice what we're simply imitating when something is coming from pressure, from expectation, from us trying to be something, and then gently return to yourself. When we go inside and identify our parts, the kuf begins to transform. Its leg rises and a hidden spark appears. Going into meditation, sit comfortably. And bring your attention to the breath entering just behind the bridge of your nose. Breathe. Feel your feet touching the ground and let your spine strengthen naturally. And now visualize the letter Kuf. See it long and descending in your body. and sense where the body awareness feels pulled downward. Feel it in your jaw, throat, chest, and belly. And ask yourself gently, where do I feel safek, doubt right now? Don't analyze it, just notice where in your body do you feel doubt. It may appear as a sensation, a tightening, a heaviness. And bring breath into that place, into doubt. Breathe in and out. And just like we did with the siren, stay with it. Listen to it. What is she saying? I'm listening. I'm here, and I'm not going anywhere. I'm listening to you, doubt. Breathe and stay with it. I'm breathing with you. Amalek tries to cool our awareness, but our breath restores awareness. And with each inhale, imagine the long descending leg of your kuf in your body, slowly rising with each breath, shortening, condensing. The fallen line gathers itself to become a vav, your spine. Notice what begins to shift as the breath and awareness meet doubt, safek. And notice the klipot, the coverings of your kuf begin to loosen and lift, not by force, but by presence. And now allow the breath itself to form the letter Hey. Hey. Open, spacious, breathing in and out with Hey. Your upper Hey and the lower Hey, the beginning two letters of Adar. Hey, Hey, Yud, Vav. This is Neshima breath, the living Hey returning. Allow your body to feel the movement. Allow your diaphragm to feel the movement. Doubt dissolving. Concealment becomes awareness. Breathe in and breathe out the Hey. And allow the sound to soften and widen. Allow the chest to widen And with our body, we're going to embody the kuf. It requires us to stand up. The kuf looks like this. We're going to stand up straight, and then we're going to bend over, kind of like diving and curving with our arms folded, and we're going to curve under. Breathing in and out. With the letter of kuf. Ka, 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 ka. Feel what you're concealing. Ka, ka. Feel the hiddenness. And when you're ready, we're going to transform into hay. The hay is a movement of opening your arms and going side to side. Hay, hay, ha, 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 like karate. Ha, 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 ha. Feel the hay. Ha, 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 ha. And then when you're ready, go back to the kuf. Make those transitions a few times. Keep moving and keep breathing. Add your lioness. Make your statement coming out of the darkness, out of the hiddenness. When you're ready, come back to our circle. Come back to presence. And write in the comment box how you're feeling. If anyone shares to unmute, feel free. Take a few more breaths. And now we're going to allow this movement to appear through color. So prepare your watercolor, canvas, or paper. Freer now, actually happening in my body. Yes. We're going to take this freedom and we're going to transfer it into our canvas. We're going to take our lioness, we're going to take our hay and our kuf and bring it into the canvas. Feel your body as kuf and go back to your kuf and allow your hands to begin to feel that kuf adar energy. Take your brush and with your embodied kuf, hold that brush close to you. Feel the concealment. Feel it go into your brush, whatever you're concealing. And we're going to begin painting with the energy of kuf, choosing some denser tones, maybe some shadowed colors. Last week, we were experiencing the gray, the darker colors, and start by making slow brush movements. You can start in the air, you can start with your kuf, and letting the body express where your awareness felt covered. Let it come out in the brush. Breathe. And begin layering new washes of color. Slow brush movements, allowing the body to express where awareness feels covered. What's hidden in your cup? Feel your breath. Feel the hay. Allow the water to soften the pigment of the color. And let your brush gently paint over any places in you that feel heavy or stuck. Let the brush paint over any places that feel heavy or stuck. Watch how the color begins to reveal. How earlier layers begin to soften and open, and allow your painting to breathe.
המכשיר הקטן הזה עוצר את כאבי המחזור תוך 60 שניות.
שנאצלו הנאצלים ונבראו הנבראים. היה אור עליון פשוט ממלא את כל המציאות. דק היא טרם שנאצלו הנאצלים ונבראו הנבראים. היה אור עליון פשוט ממלא את כל המציאות. הוא הנקרא אור אינסוף.
Allow the Or Sof to come down from the one white light into your canvas. Breathe with it. Hi, Mesquite. Didn't know you were here. Invite the movement toward the hay. More spaces between the strokes. More breath in the color. Allow the lighter tones to come out and to appear. Listen to the colors. Allow one hue to reveal the next. This is the living process of Birur Hanetzitzot. The sparks rising through your colors until the canvas itself begins to breathe. Your canvas begins to breathe like the letter Hey. Open, spacious, alive. Bring the Rabbi into your consciousness. Noam Elimelech speaks often about the Ruchniya spiritual power of Simcha in Avodas Hashem. He teaches that Simcha, it's not only an emotion. Get this. Simcha is a vessel, a kli, a spiritual kli through which the Or Ein Sof can flow and enter this world. I'm going to say that again. Simcha is a kli in which the Or Ein Sof can enter your body and flow into this world, into your fingertips, and into the painting, into your colors. It's revealing your inner Simcha. What does that look like? Ki hasimcha hi kli gadol lahashpa'at hashafa. Because, as Rabbi Noam Elimelech, the joy becomes a kli that allows shafa, divine flow, to descend. He teaches this very subtle, incredible teaching that Simcha doesn't arrive as a big burst. It sometimes begins as a small opening from our ha. What does that ha look like on your canvas? Paint your ha, your hey, the shefa, the divine flow coming from your heart. This awareness that your neshama is not alone. It remembers. And it witnesses the simcha of others. Think of another, someone in your life. Imagine that person as a color. And witness her or his strength and her or his simcha. Feel the joy, the simcha of knowing that the other person feels simcha. Feel maybe a color when you were experiencing the doubt in yourself. Bring her up now in a color. And imagine her doubt, the separated part. Imagine her shining with simcha, even inside the hiddenness. Tell her, you're being held. I'm holding you with the kuf of holding, the kuf, not kof this time, the kuf of kedusha, of presence. I'm here with you, holding you now. And feel her joy growing from inside the moment. A few more moments to finish your painting. When you're ready, come back to our circle. And I'm going to ask anybody who would like to share, please share. Either your painting or your experience. Whatever you'd like to share. Would anybody care to share?
Sure.
Who's that? Shindle?
Yeah.
Yes.
So, first of all, today is my mother's birthday. She lives in Arizona. It's her 84th birthday. Thank God.
Mazel tov, mazel tov.
Thank you. And so I wanted to make sure I got her during the day, so I just called her, took a break, and I was doing the work in here and speaking to her, and miraculous that I was doing this work while I was speaking to her, so that my mother has always scared me. My mother is very scared for me now, where I am, and it's understandable. I'm scared for me also, but the scary, her scary is maybe more scarier than some of these sirens, because of the intensity of her fear. And so I started to paint this. So this is what I painted. It's hard to see. There's a hay there. And what started to come out was kind of like the falling, like spiral going down in the middle of the hay. Like I think about being here in this world and all these fallen parts that go down. And then I thank God I heard a beautiful share today that, that was part of the plan, and that our job is to elevate all of it and to raise it up. And so my heart was falling down. My hearts are falling down, but then there's an arrow on the other side of the hay coming up and then into the other side. And I felt it. Like I really felt it. And this wasn't just a drawing. This was after I got off the phone with my mother, I actually journaled. And then you said to have someone in mind, and the joy. And my mother, if my mother could be herself, she would be a very fun, bright, light yellow. I started to put light yellow on this like
Wow.
color. That's her. And I've known that for a while. And it, I really almost don't have words for the way that this processed, because even though she scared me on the phone, I could see who I really am. I could see where I'm at. I could see how God has raised me up. And she doesn't know that yet. She hasn't experienced that other gift that God is giving us of what's raising up. And it's still hidden from me, obviously. And so I'm just very grateful that that this was literally just came through. And so
Wow. Wow. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. And you can use this method of when we did the exercise of the siren on the screen and breathing through it, like when somebody is speaking to you through fear, somebody in the room, somebody on the phone, you can do that breath work, that breathing method. That it's a tool. I use it all the time.
Beautiful. Yes. Mm-hmm.
And you can actually imagine yourself, or you can't actually go start painting, but um, I heard somewhere that it actually calms children down when they're like having a tantrum and a parent says to go paint. The painting actually calms our nervous system. So what we're doing here is just giving each of us tools
Mm-hmm.
how to raise our frequency. And as we raise our own frequency, we raise the frequencies of others who are not learning this, but we are actually helping them. It's incredible what we can
Oh
do
yeah,
with
I
this work.
ended with a bracha to her. Like I wrote it out and I could visualize it and send her the yellow. I could send her true joy. And I used to think that I had to fix it. I had to fix that. And now it's so clear to me that that's perfect. Just doing that.
Yes, yes. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Anybody else? Anybody else care to share? Their painting.
I could share if no one else is
Yes.
sharing it. So I really love the movement. It really helps me to embody the kuf and the hay. Um, yeah, it's just interesting because I was like, in my mind, I'm like, well, kuf goes all the way down. Isn't that good? But then I realized like that's, what you were saying is like the places of darkness and doubt, and that's like it's too in the ground. Like it's too in the ground. Like it's good to be grounded, or too much in the ground and too much in there, then it could actually pull us like we're bent over, like we're bent over when we're in that space. So I felt like the hay movements were very freeing, and I kind of felt like they were like the two hays are like the wings. Like I learned in Tanya that the hay of Yira and there's the hay of Yira and the hay of Ahava. So those are the two wings that help us fly.
Yes.
So I love that, embodying that. And then I can show you my art. Let's see.
Yes.
Just take off the background. Oh, sorry. Okay, no background here. So so this is kind of a process, still in the process. I wanted to add more layers, but it started off as a kuf, actually, that you see where that yellow is on the bottom, it was gray.
Yes.
And I didn't cover it over till kind of like the last part where you were saying like you can fill it with like light and joy. But yeah, I had the kuf was all gray, And then purples and blues started emerging. I used watercolors, and then I felt like I wanted something richer, so I added oil pastels. And I also wanted to put acrylics on top. I love mixed media. So I have the heart in the background because that's where I was feeling the doubt, like the unworthiness that you were speaking about, like that. Does Hashem really love me? Does he really care? Like that was my kuf, and it was
Yes.
really descending low, and it was making me feel heavy. But then when I started painting the light inside the gray, started to elevate, and then it kind of matches that yellow inside of the hay where the light from the heart is coming into the hay, and there's an eye in the middle, like the inner eye. And yeah, that was my process. It's still emerging. I still want to add more layers.
At what point in the process did you start painting the inner eye?
Well, it was a swirl when the light was coming into the hay. It was a swirl, but then I was like, oh, it looks like an eye. So I just added an eye afterwards. It was like I think one of the last steps.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And this green is, you said, view a loved one with their color. So I was viewing my husband with green, and then the yellow, his joy, kind of emerging from inside.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love that. That's kind of like, well, the yud is a masculine letter, that dot, and the hey is the feminine. We're going to go into it next week.
Oh, interesting.
It's
I
the
was like, why am I
hey
making it
yud
into a
vav.
dot? Right. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That was really an awesome process. And I love that I feel like the movement helped me to paint, actually. I felt like that was helpful to like let, the colors and the emotions and the process out onto paper. So thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much for sharing, Ahuva.
My pleasure. Thank you for this workshop.
One more person. Yehudit Yael.
Hi.
Hello.
This has been intense so far. I have had a pain in my lower to middle left back around the side for weeks now. And it came together today about the spleen. I have a dear, dear friend who's having a consultation today, really serious consultation. And one of her symptoms has been an enlarged spleen.
Wow.
And I don't understand what's happening to me because my sister has had a bad diagnosis also. And I've been feeling discomfort in the part of the body that she's been diagnosed with. So I don't understand that. But when we were doing the somatic movement, I felt it release, and I know I need to say a hard no to when I start taking on those kind of feelings. I know that much. So working through this is really good for me. What came out here was I watered things down a little more than I would have liked to, and I don't know. I guess you can see. I was releasing the stuff, and really it kind of blended into dissolving this way, and then the colors dissolved as the sparks, which are the circles, or the sparks that were going up into the hay. And I haven't done what I'd like to do completely, but I guess that kind of, I didn't do it intentionally, but that, afterwards I looked at it, and that's what it looks like to me has happened, that it's just dissolving. And
Yeah.
we're in that transformation where it's dissolving. So it's appropriate.
Yes. We're in that transformative movement. We're not there yet.
Right. So it's not completely gone, but it's dissolving. And I was trying to use some metallic gold, but as I think I used too much water there as well. And so, just to kind of lighten it up and show where we're headed.
Wow. Wow. Thank you so much, Yehudit Yael. We want to just take a moment and send a refuah shalema to your sister and to the other person. And if everybody can just send healing to Yehudit Yael, that she gets complete clarity and clears any kind of unhealthy attachment or connection to anything that's not positive and healthy and kedusha. I hope others will share as we continue. Feel free to share in the chat box anything you'd like. We're going to move on. I'm going to ask you to prepare your Besamim and your herb. 1, 2, 3 different shapes, different sizes of leaves, different colors. And we're going into fragrance, reach. So Adar carries this beautiful other thread, other than Simcha. It's called reach. And it's in the story, in the Megillah Esther. Fragrance appears repeatedly. The Megillah tells us that the women were prepared Shisha Chadashim B'Shemen Hamor, 6 months with the oil of myrrh, V'Shisha Chadashim Besamim, and 6 months with Besamim, fragrances. What does that mean? 6 months with the oil of myrrh and 6 months with fragrances? It's hard to imagine a whole year, 12 months, being prepared specifically with myrrh and besamim. And it also says, Mordechai is hinted in the Torah through the phrase, mor daror, pure myrrh. This pure essence of myrrh. Myrrh is a fragrance. So alongside the laughter of Adar, we also encounter a subtle perception of reach, of fragrance. Fragrance, reach, is extraordinary because you sense it before you see its source. Fragrance, smell, arrives quietly, subtly, almost mysteriously. The Navi Yeshayahu describes the perception of Mashiach using this very language. He says, V'harechu beyirat Hashem. In Sanhedrin, it says, Moreach v'din. He smells and he judges, meaning that fragrance, reach, becomes a metaphor for spiritual discernment, sensing of truth that appears before something becomes fully visible. And this is exactly what's happening now in our third week of Adar. Purim has already shown us that the story can turn around. But the deeper perception is that the turning continues to unfold and unfold and unfold quietly within us through our breath, through our subtle perception, through our subtle perceptions of our parts and parts of others, through our quiet building of emunah, moment by moment, breath by breath. And this is where Torat HaTzeva enters into our lives, because color behaves exactly like this. Because a color, as we learned, by itself alone may appear dull. Like if you have a color of yellow or gold, it may be dull and not so bright. But when another color enters into it, suddenly it becomes illuminated. Nothing changed the pigment itself, only the relationship of one color next to another changed the color. It's in our visual experience. This is v'nahafahu. This is the turning in our perception. So today, we're going to slow down fragrance and perception. And we're going to breathe with it. And we're going to allow our body to settle and explore and awaken reach through Besamim. And then we're going to allow that reach to meet us in a painting practice. Because sometimes the story is turning, but it's not yet visible. What exactly is happening here in this relationship, in this war, in this situation? And through the gentle reappearance of tzchok, of laughter, and perhaps this quiet avoda of all of the lionesses, all of the nashim of Israel in these days, it's going to become clearer. Not to only endure the story, but to breathe with it, be inside of it, to embody it like Esther Amalka. The moment she says, makes a decision, Imani avadati, she changed from bat, from being someone's daughter, from being someone's wife, from being somebody, whatever somebody expects of me, to bayit. She embodied her bayit, her body, her home. So let's witness these miracles and allow the turning to continue to enfold and unfold within us. Returning to meditation, preparing for our next exercise. Go back to the Rishimu, your awareness of the hay. See it in your heart space, like in Ahuva's picture. Your heart glowing, the hay inside. And see the vertical line of the hay extending downward. Now we're going from the hay to the kuf, downward. Bring it downward with your consciousness as the hay turns into a kuf. The descending line dips beneath the boundary. Feel your inner kuf, the line reaching below into concealment. Feel the roots under your feet growing downward. And the kuf goes down, down, down into those roots, into what appears fallen. This is Adar, the kuf, the mask, the hidden orchestration, preparing for the hay. The line that's down, deep, 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 dip below. It's the same line that's now going to rise from the base of Malchut. It begins to draw upward again, not abruptly, with your breath, steadily, steadily. The elongated vav that formed the kuf begins to lift as it lifts back above the baseline and it reshapes to the hay. This is Nissan, Geula, open breath. The concealed chamber now fully visible. The hay restored. So let's breathe with this gain of the hay. Inhale into the hay, into your heart, and exhale. Inhale hay, exhale kuf. Inhale hay, exhale kuf. Breath aligned. And rest. The descent is not in exile. The descent is a preparation of Adar turning toward Nissan. We're going to allow this teaching to move from our mind into our nostrils. One of the two of the 7 cavities of our body, of Adam Kadmon, nostrils. The 2 dots in the shape of a tzere. We're going to be conscious of our nostrils, of our breath. As we take the Besamim, the fragrant herbs, into your hands, And gently bring the Besamim, or the leaves, gently toward your nose, towards your nostril. As the fragrance begins to awaken your neshama. And we'll begin with the bracha. Borei mine besamim. First with consciousness. Feel the leaves in your hands. Feel the besamim in your hands. If it's in a container or in a bottle, just feel what that feels like. Feel its energy, like the mir, the more of Mordechai. Connect to the energy of Mordechai HaTzadik. And feel yourself as Esther Hamalka, enrobed in Malchut. Cleansed and bathed in Besamim, incredible fragrances. And when you're ready, say the bracha slowly and intentionally. And when you're saying the name of Hashem, imagine the name of Hashem spelled out as Yud, Hey, Vav, and Hey. Here we go together. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech Ha'olam Borei Minei Besamim. And smell. Allow your lungs to fill with the fragrance. Let it travel inward. Allow your diaphragm to expand and visualize what's happening with your diaphragm, and allow it to enter your spleen as the fragrance moves directly through your breath into your nervous system. It may awaken a memory, a presence, a deeper layer of consciousness. What is it hinting to? Allow it to uncover. The memory, allow it to open and uncover, and stay present with it. Don't abandon her. Smells often bring up memories. Esther herself passes through months of preparation with Besamim before entering the palace. Fragrance accompanies a hidden transformation, exactly the atmosphere of now, of Adar. And we're going to bring this into our painting with Besamim. So instead of using a paintbrush, we're going to paint with the leaves themselves, dipping them into your pigment and allowing them to absorb the pigment, and gently pressing the leaves onto the paper. The leaves are your brush. The leaves are an extension of you. From Medaber to Chaya, to Tzomea, vegetation, to Doma, the paper, inanimate, using all 4 parts of your soul to lift and press with your breath, allowing the nature to make the marks that it makes, and to allow the forms to appear without control. The leaves carry their own structure, their own intelligence. Breathe, and with your breath, bring the colors out onto the page with your breath. Inhale, exhale, as the hand lifts. Exhale, the color lands. Inhale, the hand lifts. Exhale, the color lands. You may want to press. Another thing you can do is put the leaves down and paint on top of them. And what is revealed is the canvas where the leaves are, like an inverse of the leaves. You can use anything if you don't have leaves, anything impressionable on the paper except the paintbrush. Something except the paintbrush. Allow your breath to guide the rhythm of the painting, and occasionally allow a sound, a hey, a laughter, a schok, to exit your breath and move through the body. Ha, ha, the same movement we spoke about earlier.
If you have gray hair, stop coloring it right away. The chemical dye.
Feel the laughter moving through your body. Mimale kol ha'almin.
שוב מציאות מבלעדיך גם וכל תנועה ותנועה וכל תנועה ותנועה וכל תנועה ותנועה שם אתה ימצא נופו של עולם.
Notice something beginning to release. Notice the colors emerging, blending.
במסתור השיחים שבגן כך כל לילה פחד רודף הם חיים במרחב לא מוגן.
Notice the tones being muted, earth tones, soft impressions, and slowly something brighter begins to appear.
הם מוכרים את עצמם בזול בעבור תשומת לב ובתוכם פצע גדול פתוח וכואב.
Your body can sense it through the breath, through the fragrance. Smell the fragrance again. Allow it to infuse your soul. Through the fragrance, through the color.
רק תיתן לנו לב, לאהוב רק אותך. רק תיתן לנו לב, לעשות רצונך. רק תיתן לנו לב, לשמוע את קולך. רק תיתן לנו
Benahafachu. It's unfolding within us through breath, through your nostrils, through color. A few more seconds. Beginning to come back to the presence of our circle. Coming back to the hay in our heart center. Connecting to the Or Ein Sof, the simple light, the unified white light. And the many colors revealed in your colors on your canvas, revealing what was hidden inside the light. The month of Adar is a month revealing something hidden. inside you. Nisim nistarim, Simcha nisteret. Tzchok, laughter. We're doing this work for generations of our mothers who couldn't do it, who didn't have the skills that we're learning now. Bringing our mothers into our circle. Shining light on our mother. Grandmothers. Connecting to the Barzel, to the Bet, Bilhah, doing all these tikkunim for our 4 imahot, Bet, Bilhah, Reish, Rachel, Zion, Zilpah. What was her life like? What tikkunim are we doing for our imaot? Leah Imenu, Lamed. All of this work, running and returning. Connecting to the neshama of Leah Imenu, Zilpah Imenu, Rachel Imenu, Bilhah Imenu. Bring all of these 4 parts of your soul into the painting. What colors are they? So the teaching of Adar is that heaviness can soften. Pressure can release. And often that release begins with something very small. A breath, a movement, a ripple of laughter. When you're ready, come back to our circle. If anyone would like to share your experience, your Besamim. Any reflections? Thank you, Ahuva. Would anybody like to share Besamim, Barzel? What was it like to feel the Imaot in the circle, in your painting?
I'll share.
Yes, hi Sylvia.
Hi. So this is it. And I felt them out, and I the pictures of my mother, my grandmother, all the women in my life, and then going back to the mouth. Really, I really felt the presence, and I really got immersed in this. I used these small leads, and I was like really, I was hitting and slapping and dipping and, playing. Like right now, I'm spritzing myself with the color. And I felt, the energy, like a really an energy, like surging, flowing
Flowing.
from who came before me, and moving forward. Even though I don't have daughters, I have sons, but still I have 6 granddaughters. So it's really like flow. This felt really like energy and flow.
Wow, it looks very liberating. It looks
Yeah,
like
it
very
really, really
freeing.
was. I must admit that with the first one, I felt very constricted for some reason. It wasn't really, it's this way. I just, I didn't feel it expressive. But here I felt like completely free, and it was a nice experience, liberating and meaningful. Thank you.
Wow, wow, thank you for sharing. I
Yeah,
see so much vitality and chiyut of
yeah,
life force
yeah,
of like the vegetation and the besamim and the imaot, like it's all there.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Wow, thank you,
Thanks for
Sylvia.
facilitating this.
Wow, incredible. Thank you.
I'm going back off because I'm not looking my best.
It's great. It's great. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else before we sign off care to share? Yehudit Yael says, I felt that they, I'm assuming the Imaot, were smiling at my delighting in the playfulness. Yes, they're looking down on us, smiling. And we can smile back to them and reflect. Anybody else? What was it like using a medium other than the normal brush, breaking out of the norm, breaking out of control, breaking out of the circle? Rabbi Shlomo Katz had a post on Friday. It's very impressive. How do we break out of the circle? That idolatry is circle. A lot of idolatry has symbolism of circle. And how do we break out of our cycles? He said we break out of our cycle, out of the circle, through the kav, the line coming in, through doing something that seems out of our comfort zone, by connecting closer, by staying a little bit longer with each other, to be present. That's what breaks us out of the circle into expanded consciousness, above the circle, out of the circle. And then we're allowed to go in deeper and deeper to that point in the middle, the seed, where chiyas, where our life force begins, where that light, that hidden light, expands into the leaves, into the branches, into the fruit. So I want to bless everybody that we have a week of Adar, of expansiveness, of Simcha, practicing the hay, practicing the laughter, practicing connecting to your spleen. And I would love to hear your comments. Please post on the chat your paintings, your soul paintings, your breath paintings, and share your process. We're here for each other on the chat. Rachel says, thank you. I joined today for the first time. Thank you for coming, Rachel. Okay, I'm going to stop the recording.
I wanted to show you that I brought these essential oils with me, and this one has myrrh in it. I could not believe it.
Oh, wow.
I know. It's called I Am Calm.
Oh, wow. So appropriate.
That's why I traveled with.
Wow. Do you like the scent of the myrrh?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's stunning. It's just, it really soothing. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a
Wow.
combination of a few things, but myrrh is in it.
So I was hoping that the scent, like the movement, the scent coming in through our nostrils would really kind of enhance the whole Torah HaTzeva, the whole painting experience, adding another of our five senses. Eretz Hashem. Practice it more and more this week. We'd love to continue this process together.
Wow. I'm curious, Sylvia, what you used, what were you dipping the leaves in?
Oh, okay, okay, so wait, let me just, so I have water,
Mhm.
And then I have these gouache colors.
Nice.
So I was dipping this into water and getting, spray. My whole desk now is like really spritzed, and myself too. And then just patting on the color and then on the page back and forth, like what kids do. It was, I had my grandchildren here today, and this is what we do. And this is the materials that I use with them. And it was just fun. Yeah, so this is what I did.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.